Now, before we begin this edition, let's first inform you that pursuant to the Constitution of the Republic of Rwanda of 2003, revised in 2015, especially in its articles 111, 112, and 116, His Excellency the President has appointed the following officials. Cabinet member Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana, the Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement. Other officials are Mr. Johnston Busingye, High Commissioner of the Republic of Rwanda to the UK. Mr. Francis Gatare, Senior Economic Advisor to the President of the Republic. Ambassador Yamina Karitanyi is the CEO of Rwanda Mines, Petroleum and Gas Board. Dr. Fidel Ndahayo is the CEO of Rwanda Atomic Energy Board. Ms. Clarisse Munezero is the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement. Dr. Thierry Mihigo Kalisa is now the Chief Economist at the National Bank of Rwanda. Now, this was done at Kigali on 31st August 2021 on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Now, moving on, political analysts have been noticing that despite the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic, Rwanda's government has been pushing the objectives of the country's national strategy for transform to be attained in the time frame that it was originally planned.
It has now been exactly 4 years since the current Rwandan government was sworn in for this 2017-2024 mandate of President Paul Kagame. And after the cabinet members took their oath, the head of state reminded them that Rwanda's challenges sometimes require thinking out of the box to address them. You might find that one of your neighbors who was supposed to provide you with safe passage has been facing problems that may not even concern you, yet decides to take it out on you and refuse you that passage that is required to be provided in line with cooperation and bilateral relations. I am not talking about anything new because it exists today and you can expect it tomorrow. Now, to resolve that, we must have a way of doing things that is unique to us. So ministers, and this applies to all other leaders in our country in their different capacities, if we do not adopt that sort of mindset, it will be difficult for us to find solutions for our problems. Only 9 of the original 31 ministers of state that were sworn in that day remain in the government, with the rest having left for a variety of reasons that include transfers to carry out other duties, resignations and dismissals. Some of the most challenging problems the country has faced in recent times have indeed required that its leaders adjust their approaches of dealing with them. Take how the coronavirus pandemic has affected us, resulting in the government spending vast amounts of money to help Rwandans protect themselves from the virus and treat those that fell sick. Then there is the matter of cross-border trade that did not go well, with Rwandan businessmen and women going to Uganda to do business and being persecuted because they are Rwandan, even regular Rwandans going there to make a living. And finally, there are the attacks that were carried out on our soil by armed terrorist groups. You remember what happened in the southern province at Nyabimata and in the northern province in the volcanoes. Now, be it the pandemic or those attacks or the closure of borders, all of that affected trade and the country's economy. Despite the challenges, Rwanda has still managed to remain on track with her national strategy for transformation.
Every year, the Rwanda Governance Board issues its Governance and Service Delivery Monitoring Report. Not once, over that period, has the satisfaction rate among the people dipped below 99% when it comes to the leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic. We also issue Rwanda Governance Scorecard, and every year, security performs the best. Last year, it was above 95%. In fact, all of the 8 categories analyzed are above 75%, 5 of them above 80%. This year, we're supposed to host the Commonwealth meeting, and we are also part of La Francophone, and relations with other countries are good. All of that indicates that we have remained on track as a country when it comes to our objectives.
Regular people are also commending the progress the country has continued to make.
aha hari ibihuru, ahahingwaga ibishyimbo n'ibijumba.
All of this used to be wild bush, with a few plots of farmland and people growing beans, bananas, and vegetables. Now look at all these buildings that have been constructed. Look at the roads, the drainage system, and street lighting. There is no reason to say a lot because the actions speak for themselves. We attribute such achievements to good leadership. Though Rwanda is also pursuing her broader Vision 2050, the national strategy for transformation has remained a key pillar for the short-term progress the country has continued to make.
Thank you, Serge, for that report. Now, the Rwanda Private Sector Federation has announced the plans to expand the cooperation with Pakistan and Zimbabwe in order to further boost investment, trade and commerce with two countries. Gabi Movini has more on the details.
After discussions held with the Pakistani ambassador in Rwanda, the chairman of the Private Sector Federation, Robert Bafukelera, says the Rwandan private sector is ready to expand trade relations with Pakistan, especially because the Rwandan tea is highly sought after in the major markets in Pakistan.
Item which His Excellency brought to us is that Pakistan dealers in tea can buy directly from Rwanda. He has already mentioned, which is a good thing that would enlarge the market, and being the second importer of Rwanda tea in the world, it's a very and when there was no kind of thing of relationship or different MOUs signed, I think with this it may go up to #1 in the world. And the market for our tea, if we get the market for our tea, one thing we benefit on is that we sell on time, we benefit on a better price, and we are also encourage our people to produce more tea.
The Pakistani ambassador in Rwanda, Amir Mohammed Khan, notes that reducing the time tea experts take to get to their destination yields better quality tea.
I am being assured that we would get a good quality Rwandan tea, because right now, Rwandan tea is mixed with other teas. But once we find a solution where Pakistani importers can directly import tea from Rwanda, we will get a good quality tea and in competitive prices, and it would be a win-win situation, good for the Rwandan exporters of tea and Pakistani importers of tea.
In the context of trade development, officials from the Private Sector Federation also held talks with the Zimbabwean ambassador in Rwanda.
Some of the opportunities that I can talk about in agriculture, that's one sector where the two countries can exchange. We have here some agricultural products which Zimbabwe also may require, and also Zimbabwean products like soybeans, sugar, and groundnuts, which can be shared with Rwanda, but also expertise in the area. Mining is another area, another sector which Zimbabwe and Rwanda can exchange in terms of facilities.
The chairman of the Rwanda Private Sector Federation says the Rwandan private sector is ready to cooperate with the business community of Zimbabwe.
Our relationship could build up all those skills and scaling. Like she said, in terms of exporting flowers like we are doing in Rwanda, where we need the volumes, we can share the market, the Zimbabwe private sector and the private sector of Rwanda. Like it was said again, it's a market building. Our relationship creates a bigger market between Rwanda and Zimbabwe. What we have, we can sell to Zimbabwe. What we don't have, they can sell to us. And even where we get a market, in our relationship, we can share the market. We supply the market, whether Europe or in other African countries. So there are a lot to share, there are a lot to benefit when we build our relationship closely.
The discussions held between the Rwandan private sector and the Zimbabwe delegation are aimed at boosting trade between African countries that remains at just 16%, and yet intra-trade on other continents can be as high as 80% in some cases. Gabi Muvunyi, reporting for RTV News.
Now, as the Ministry of Environment assures people that in the future garbage will be purchased by the processing companies, citizens say that they shall take this advantage to make profit from their garbage due to the fact that they have been paying for it to be collected. Take a look. As some waste and recycling companies collect waste from different households, they as well teach them on how to segregate waste from dry to wet waste. Hence, different kinds of wastes are collected on different days. Observers on waste collection say that the mindset around this concept has improved positively.
It took a while to teach people how to sort out the garbage and giving them sacks which indicate what is to go where. We would teach everyone in each household.
The recently launched 4 billion Rwandan francs project aims to make good use of the waste by recycling it and making materials out of it. Some people have already started investing in this sector, indicating that 90% of waste from institutions and households can be recycled and made into useful materials, but that the level of processing is less than 5%.
reka tuvuge imisatsi yo muri salon de coiffure ntacyo wayikoza nyine ariko wasanga wenda mu mahanga hari ikindi bikora.
Say, for example, the hair that is collected from hair salons. It may not be useful to us, but could be useful in foreign countries, and this goes the same for clothes, as well as construction waste. According to our research and assessment, 90% of the garbage can be recycled, and in Rwanda the recycling level is at just 2%, which is an issue.
The fact that the garbage from the community continues to be dumped in landfills, which contribute to air pollution and also producing an intense bad smell in the areas around it, the Minister of Environment, Dr. Maria Jeanne d'Arc, explains that in the near future there will be improvements in the way the waste is collected and recycled.
Kwifuza yuko n'abaturage bacu baba bamwe mu bikorera bazajya.
This is an opportunity for the people to start making profits from their garbage, as they will be sorting out the garbage in their households, and as waste and recycling companies come to collect them, they will be paying for it. This was well received by the community, hence their relief due to the discomfort of the waste. They say they are ready to make profits once the project begins.
If, for example, they say that they want dry waste, then people will make sure to separate the dry garbage from the rest because they know it benefits them income-wise.
Increasing investment in waste products is one of the ways of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 14%, which is another way to create jobs. Due to the high amount of money required to invest in this project, governments in other countries cooperate with private sector in these activities. Clients at I&M Bank Rwanda continue to enjoy the services provided by the bank, especially when it comes to loan services. Now, I&M says repayment of loans has boosted its profits by 55% over the last 6 months. Mwadi Jet continues.
Say they have benefited greatly from access to credit and the other various services the bank provides.
Withdrawing and depositing money as well as loan services are great in this bank, especially with the way they provide customer care. They provide great services.
I&M Bank is a bank that works with sincerity and cares about their customers. They are always willing to give customers time so they may solve whatever the issue may be, and you're on your way. I&M Bank's turnover has also increased by 55% from January to June 2021, with revenue of 3 billion and 300 million Rwanda francs. During the same time in 2020, they had revenue of only 2 billion and 100 million Rwanda francs. The chairman of the board of directors of I&M Bank Rwanda PLC credits the success of the bank to refocusing on customer needs.
Our financial performance, we have posted impressive results in very tough and trying times. We have managed to remain relevant to our customers and the community we serve by adjusting the way we conduct business to meet market needs and tailoring our products and services to what our customers require. I'm taking this opportunity to thank our shareholders who have been always ready to support and invest in their bank.
In addition to regular account services and providing loans, I&M Bank has also invested in infrastructure to better cater to the needs of its clients. Currently, it has completed a 9-story, $25 million building. As of January this year, total revenue from I&M Bank is 14,900 million Rwanda francs, up by 20%. Consumer deposits are at 19%, losses from non-performing loans decreased by 15%, and the ratio of loans to deposits decreased by 69.3%. Fixed capital has reached 19.4% from 16.78%. Umngari Jade, RTV News.
Thank you, Jade. Now, on Tuesday, Cogebanque concluded its Tugendane promotion. Cogebanque customers are happy that the bank has introduced various ways to access its services through technology, helping them continue to fight against the spread of COVID-19.
3 months ago, Cogebanque launched a competition, Tugendane and Cogebanque. This competition was aimed at encouraging customers to participate in applying for services of the bank through the use of technology. After receiving various prizes, some of the contestants and winners say that in addition to winning prizes that will help them in real life, they are happy to work with a bank that continues to help them implement COVID-19 prevention measures.
We are grateful to Cogebanque for showing good leadership by setting up a system using technology that helps us safely transfer and receive money, as well as follow the preventive measures set up to fight against COVID-19.
The head of marketing and product development at Cogebanque says they are happy with the results of the competition as they have achieved a satisfactory level.
When you look
at the statistics in the months of April, May, June, and July, online customer use has increased by 23%. This shows that people have understood the directive towards it. The lines in the Cogebanque have reduced as well, and that is another indicator that customers are finding easier while understanding the need for online services.
Awards included bicycles, motorcycles, television, telephones, and refrigerators. So far, Cogebanque has 28 branches across the country and more than 600 agents. Umngari Jade, RTV News.
Now, farmers in the Mugogo Valley in Musanze district are worried about the potatoes as they are growing poorly. They suspect that they were given poor quality Irish potato breed, hence causing losses for them. The Mugogo Valley covers an area of about 80 hectares where Irish potatoes are currently grown. Some were donated by SPF Fund under the Hunganire program. Farmers point out that those that were donated by the SPF Fund that were given to the 220 farmers doesn't grow or yield potatoes. Now, the farmers say the seeds of the SPF Fund has stunted growth in comparison to other seeds that are progressing well. However, SPF does not agree that the problem is with the seeds they donated, but rather suggests that farmers did not do a thorough research on the land they were cultivating on. RAB believes that the stunted growth is attributed to having planted the Irish potatoes during the dry season. Musanze District Administration assures the farmers that whoever might incur the losses will be assisted in this matter. Now, the farmers in Rwimiya sector in Nyagatare District, who are the members of the Isango Giramata Gachundezi cooperative, say they are still struggling with the high cost of electricity at their milk collection centers compared to other collection centers.
This is a long-standing problem the cooperative has faced from the time they received electricity in 2012. The base per unit of electricity is 301.7 francs, While in other milk collection centers in Nyagatare, the base cost for electricity per unit is 178 francs. Despite the advocacy for Nsango Jiramata Cooperative, the cost of electricity has dropped from 301.7 Rwandan francs to 297, which is still difficult for the farmers, as it requires each farmer to sacrifice a liter of milk to fill the gap to pay the electricity. The farmers say this is an obstacle for them.
They told us that the power goes off and it affects the refrigeration of the milk, so we accepted to give that liter of milk in order for the milk to be refrigerated well. It does affect us because we incur a loss of that 194 Rwandan francs they cut from the 1 liter of milk we give.
The president of Isango Jiramata Cooperative says the fact that 152 members of the cooperative pays around 1 million towards the monthly electricity bill hinders their development and therefore urges the relevant authorities to solve the issue.
We need our prices reduced. We use electricity worth 1 million Rwandan francs per month, and we are asking for lower prices as a cooperative so that we may continue to do our business.
The management of the Rwanda Energy Group in Nyagatare district says all the milk collection centers should have a standard price as determined by the Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority.
All industries belong to a category, so we follow specific tariffs depending on the category and the number of people who are using the electricity. In 1 or 2 days, we're able to analyze about the electricity that was used or is still in the meter to report what needs to be done. Or it could be taken to the meter lab in Kigali, where they will test it and send the final report. And we shall know the way forward in terms of repairing and paying back the units that were in the meter.
There are 15 farmers' cooperatives with 16 milk collection centers located in Nyagatare district, where during the rainy season, they can receive between 80,000 and 92,000 liters per day, while in the dry season, the milk yield decreases to about 28,000 and 38,000. Gabi Muvunyi, reporting for RTV News.